Here.
Councilmember Smith.
Here.
Councilmember Webb.
Here.
Councilmember Franson's absent. Councilmember Shirey.
Here.
Okay, the first thing we have on the agenda tonight, we have 2 sets of minutes, and if y'all would like, we can review those both at the same time. I'll let y'all read over them real quick.
Jerry hadn't had supper yet.
Yeah, okay. I actually did. Got home in time for Linda to make me a burger.
Oh, yeah? Sure.
Do I have any comments from council on the June 7th or the June 21st work session minutes? Okay, I have a motion to approve the June 7th and the June 21st work session minutes, and a second. All in favor? Those opposed? The minutes of the June 7th and the June 21st work session are now approved. Okay, do we have any public comments?
Yes. James Williamson.
If you would come up to the podium, please.
I'm Larry Williamson. I live on 7200 Chingary Loop Road North. If you've been around the loop, don't get lost because it goes north, south, east, west. But I appreciate the work that's being done on the noise ordinance. I think that's a very important thing that we've needed. We've had a lot of problems in that area. And I would like to see a trash ordinance come about, and I know it takes time, it takes a lot of work, and I appreciate the work that you're doing. I think you're doing a great job. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Any other public comments?
Harris Robinson.
My name is Harris Robinson. I live on 8070 Oak Avenue here in the Crestwood subdivision on Ward's Lane. The gentleman just mentioned attention being applied to a noise ordinance. Well, that's why I'm here tonight. I had no idea that maybe that's already in motion, but I want to express my concerns over the past several years with excessive, I'm just going to put it right out there, boombox problems. And neighbors that excessively run their noise to a level that's absolutely shaking the rafters in my home. I just want to give you an example. The other afternoon, I sat for 20-25 minutes waiting to finish hearing a conversation with the company inside my home. And I finally decided to step outside and take a look, you know, what's going on that this has to go on. And this is about 300 foot away from my home. And I step out the front door and started to step around the edge of my house, and here comes a youngster in a car passing by the private drive next to my home, going back to where this noise was. And so I step around there and I'm looking, this guy pulls up in his car and he backs up in there and he jumps out, and the guy running the boom box, he goes and turns it off so they can have a conversation. And I'm standing there thinking, you know, my point exactly. So my expression to whatever has to be done to give this some attention to the ordinance that the law officers or whoever's going to support coming out and helping in a situation like this, it's just extremely needed. And I can't see myself or anybody else stepping off my private property and going and asking for this kind of attention. They know they're violating everybody else's private property. There's no question about it. So anyway, I appreciate you giving your time and attention to this and helping out in any way you can.
Good. Is it every day?
Well, let's put it like this. The last 2 nights it went on excessively beyond 11:30 at night. And it seems to be redundantly several times a week. And it used to be I would call and ask for assistance and ask for help to go back there and give these people attention to, holding this kind of stuff down. But in the past, it's just never done any good. They've taken advantage of the idea that we're in a rural setting without a whole lot of law enforcement pressure on this kind of thing. Well, now we're a city, maybe things can shape up in a little different fashion. So that's what I'm asking. Somebody else? Thank you.
Sir,
Any questions?
can I say something real quick? Oh, go ahead. Councilman.
Well, I'll defer to you. Go ahead.
Okay. I didn't catch your name.
Robinson?
Robinson, okay. Brandy, you have his information.
I do.
Let me get with you this week and talk to you and kind of find out the times. I can get with my deputies and let's see if we can kind of put some pressure on them.
That would be good.
Okay, so I'll get your name and your number. I'm Sergeant Bailey, so I'm over the immediate supervisor over the units, okay?
Okay, that'd be
All right.
good.
Mr. Robinson, you've called for help, you say help the police, in other words?
In quite some time back in the past, and there are other issues at the same residence where we called on the sheriff's department to do some investigative work at the same residence. There's been a lot of pressure on them because of drugs and one thing and another, that we're confident that they're running out of this location. And we've just tried to deal with how we're going to pick our projects with these people, because I don't want it to turn into a violent situation right there in my back door concerning, me and my family.
As far as the noise, though,
And the noise,
they couldn't help you on that, though, right?
well, short answer, no.
Thank you.
Okay, Lloyd Kim.
I apologize for my handwriting, it's Lloyd King, K-I-N-G.
Okay.
Doesn't he look like a king?
I live at 8490 Oak Hill Drive, and since the summer started recently, I noticed a real increase in semi-trucks, trailway buses, and I thought it had to be GPS routing additional, I call it beach traffic, through Oak Hill Drive. And I actually set my GPS and tested it from the post office to Saraland. It routed me through, rather than come down here to the right and take a left. Now, I don't know if the city of Semmes can do anything. I just saw a sudden increase. You can't even walk out on the street hardly, especially on the weekend when there's a lot of traffic moving. Anyone could look into that. I just think about the amount of revenue we could be losing going around, because this is a nice area to shop in here. And I just want to bring it to the council's attention. So,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've gotten lots of complaints on the same subject. It seems that the GPS now is routing people through around Oak Hill. If they're coming down Moffett Road, or if they're coming down Moffett to go westbound. We did find something we're looking into right now to see if there's a way that we can submit some information. You got that, Jason? Yeah, so we're.
I did go online and I filled out an application to make a change to the GPS or whatever's navigating people through that. Also, the county was working on that as well. So
Right. So the
it
county's.
has been addressed.
Right.
Or we're working on it.
Right, the county's gotten lots of complaints as well. So this area through Oak Hill, some parts of it are in the city of Semmes and other parts of it are not, and is still considered county. So we'll continue to work with them on that and try to help y'all out. But I know there's been a lot of increased truck traffic semi-truck traffic through there as well. And, you know, that's just really not a road made for that type of traffic. So we're gonna continue to work on that. So, but thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
Rachel Nichols.
Road session. Have a question.
I'm sorry,
In relation to his problem on Oak Hill, can we not put no truck signs on there?
They're already up.
They're already up, they're not
But-
working.
Put some more up there, but there need to be some sign before they get on to Oak Hill Drive.
Right. Yeah, it's after you already get onto Oak Hill that the signs are there, so it's kind of hard for a semi to turn around at that point, so. I think the main problem, the largest problem that we got is the GPS routing them that way, but hopefully with what Jason's done, we can get that changed.
One note for Jason, there is a separate GPS program for truck drivers, so you might want to
Okay.
check on that.
Okay.
Hey, I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to speak. I didn't see the girls listed or if it's in other terms.
No, yeah, you'll need to speak tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, here.
All right.
Perfect.
My name is Rachel Nichols. I actually live in Wilmer, but I don't have any of the issues like everybody else. But these two young ladies, y'all come up here. They attend MGM. We've been invited to participate in the national tournament in Huntington Beach, California. This is Victoria Nichols. She's a 9th grader, believe it or not, in 9th grade. And this is Alicia Everett. She's also in 9th grade. We're looking for help to get these girls to California. They will be playing in front of Division I college coaches while they're there. She's already got some colleges watching her right now, but this tournament is huge. It puts our girls that are small town girls in front of a big crowd. You know, as parents, we try to do everything we can to make sure that our kids get the opportunities that they deserve. We've did some fundraising and we've went around to local businesses. So far, we're not getting any kind of response. Besides, they did a pitch-a-thon and a hit-a-thon, but other than that, we were just coming to the city to see if there's anything you guys could do to help with getting our girls there.
You may want to tell them some of the prices that y'all are looking for.
The prices for the airfare, it would be all 4 of us, you know, if they're 14, 13. It's $1,400 for the airfare, around $200 for the baggage, additional baggage, $1,500 for the hotel, $400 for the rental car, around $150 to $200 gas. Food expenses, stuff like that. Cost of living over there is crazy. I will never, ever complain about buying a gallon of milk here ever again. But anyway, the total trip around is around $4,500. That's to get the girls to play in front of these D1 colleges and get them seen. They grew up here, played ball at the local, you know, softball park until they were to the age where they couldn't compete at that level anymore. Victoria has been the only 8th grader in MGM history so far to be pulled up to pitch for the varsity team at Mary G, and that was this past year. She carried them all the way to regionals, and from regionals there was only 4 teams. We were the 3rd out, but you know, it's an opportunity for our young ladies to shine in this community. So these girls together have been playing ball for a while. They're last year, no, not this last school year, but the year before, they were the Mobile County champs for softball. They defeated Causey. That was huge in the softball world. Then last year, they actually were the county champs for volleyball. So they have talent.
What is the date for the?
The date is, we would be flying out July 30th. And it's a week trip. We would stay a week. If we made it to top 5, that would be televised. So And there's advertisement opportunities along with this, so it's not like, we're asking for nothing, but there's advertisement for the city of Semmes also.
All right.
So,
Any questions?
do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's all.
Okay, the first presentation tonight, we're gonna kind of change the agenda. The first person isn't here. We'll do the City of Semmes ADA transition plan and grievance policy. And Mr. Kevin Harrison from the South Alabama Regional Planning Commission is here with us tonight, and Shane Burr and Neil Schaefer.
Mayor, Council, good to see you again.
Thank you.
I'm Kevin Harrison. I'm the Director of Transportation for South Alabama Regional Planning Commission. One of the programs that we have is the Metropolitan Planning Organization, which Mayor, you're a member of. For those that you don't know, an MPO is federally required for any urban area in the country that has over 50,000 people. So in Mobile, it's a 16-member policy board. Mayor Stimson is our chairman. Anytime there's federal funds that come to the Mobile urbanized area, this board has to vote on it, whether it's resurfacing, building a bridge, buying a transit bus, that federal funds has to be voted on by the MPO board. In 2010, there was a recommitment to the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. And really, by 1993, all cities and all counties in the country were supposed to have an ADA transition plan. Y'all are a new city, so out of luck for that. But the Federal Highway Administration, Federal Transit Administration, all the U.S. agencies had a recommitment to the ADA in 2010. So the Federal Highway Administration cited the Alabama Department of Transportation for ADA transition plans. There's 12 MPOs in the state, and the Alabama Department of Transportation gave all 12 MPOs till July of 2016 to come up with all the ADA transition plans adopted by each city and county in the urbanized area for right-of-way, for transportation Title II public right-of-way ADA transition plans. So with that, Mobile MPO, we had some carryover funds, and we were fortunate enough to have a consultant selection committee, and we contracted with Neil Schaefer to do 9 ADA transition plans for public right-of-way for the 8 cities in Mobile County inside the Mobile urbanized area. Now, the scope of work includes first an ADA policy statement, which Mr. Franklin's been helping us with that. Every city in Mobile County had to have an ADA coordinator, so now we do have 9 ADA coordinators in the urban area. You have to have a grievance procedure, adopt standards, which is either PROAG or ADAG, and Shane may get more into that. And then Neil Schaefer did an inventory of all the sidewalks and ramps in the study area, which is almost 1,000 miles that they inventoried, all the problems in the study area. Then the consultant had a schedule and a plan for each of the 8 cities in Mobile County, prioritize the locations, and part of the scope of work is public meetings, and that's what we're here today, to try to get public input for the city of Semmes. And I know y'all don't have too many sidewalks, but this is an ADA transition plan for any future development also. And then they'll have the draft transition plans, incorporate the comments, and then adopt the final transition plan. Really, July 20th is the deadline that the state gave to all the MPOs in the state. So we're ahead of the game on everybody else. Looks like we're going to meet the deadline, if not close. You got anything?
I'm Shane Bergen with Neil Schaefer. As Kevin said, that we were hired by the South Alabama Regional Planning Commission, that our office is in Mobile. Out of the, I think it was 925 miles of sidewalk, we actually, the city of Semmes, we came up with about 2,000 feet inside the city of Semmes. But there is one neighborhood. I think Jason said Rowell Court is the street that it's on. And we did find some issues with a little bit of that sidewalk, mainly cross slope of driveways. And we've talked to Jason, and he feels that the Public Works happy with Jason's answer, and I think that maybe they appeal to the mayor is the way it's set up. But kind of just lays it out for the public, and that at the end, everything would be posted on the city's webpage so that it's easy to find. And that's all I have.
Do you have any questions?
I do. The ADA compliant sidewalks, we're talking now about city sidewalks, right? So they're our responsibility. But what about ADA compliance for commercial people? Do they also not have to meet those?
They do. They fall under Title III, Title I. So in theory, they should be having ADA, not only ADA sidewalks, but also parking spots in front of their buildings and the ramps and doors to get inside. You know, the only time that I guess it really falls on the city is if anything that's inside the city right away. And so in the future, any buildings that the city has that would offer public service, they would have to meet ADA also.
I think most of our businesses already are, but I'm just curious.
Well, the city, as Kevin pointed out, the city's, I hate to say lucky, but being a new city and a lot of new development, that they don't run into some of the issues as some of the older cities in the area.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
We, on this, we were lucky that the area that was identified was this one street. So it's not a lot for us to have to deal with, and we'll just have to make sure that we have that budgeted and take care of and get taken care of in the next fiscal year. Going forward, in our subdivision regulations, we're pretty well on track to make sure everything going forward is all ADA compliant, so there won't be any future problems with anything. But you know, one of the things I found, some of the cities have a lot of work to do, and a lot of work over many, many years. So thank God that wasn't us. So okay, has Ms. Long arrived? No, not yet. We're gonna hold that first presentation and maybe move it toward the end of the meeting if we can. Maybe she'll be here by then. Okay. Okay, the first ordinance on the agenda tonight, we have an ordinance de-annexation of certain lands known as Hillman, Pat H. Jr. and Sandra T., 8050 Oak Hill Drive Extension North. And I will give everyone a couple minutes to look over this, the ordinance. Mr. Hillman actually came into City Hall last week, and he had seen in the paper that his property had been annexed into the city of Semmes. And he didn't remember signing an annexation petition. And he said he had signed, I guess, an incorporation petition. So we went and pulled the petition, and what was the date? 2013, I believe it was, that he had signed the annexation petition. So it was a good 2 years after we had actually incorporated. But he is now requesting that, I'm not sure what in the paper, he had a copy of the agenda.
Right.
Okay, so he is now requesting that his property be de-annexed. So we've talked to a couple other cities, and that's where we actually got the, you know, an example of the ordinance to use, what to legally say to de-annex a parcel of land. We did find out that most cities do not de-annex land, even if they are requested to. So that's going to be something that's going to be up to this council. So I'll give y'all a few minutes to read over it.
I have a question. He and his wife signed a petition. She said she does not want to be de-annexed. So we might could table this thing.
They signed the petition to de-annex today. Both of them.
Both of them?
Mhm.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
I'll make them happy.
Council comments, Mr. Baker.
Council, Is there any problem with that?
No. It's not uncommon, but you don't deal with it a lot, but it does happen.
Okay, Mr. Smith?
I would certainly want to honor their request. We don't want to have people to be unhappy in our city. I had one question that I have to put on the table is, does this affect any other annexations?
From what I understand, it does not. Now, it will leave an island of city property that will not be contiguous to the rest of the city. So, but from what I understand, it shouldn't affect anything else.
That island property will still be in the city limits?
It was legally voted in by the council, so it's still going to remain.
Very interesting. Thank you very much.
Mr. Webb?
No comment.
Mr. Shirey?
I just hate to lose them, that's what you want.
Okay. The first resolution on the agenda tonight was actually for the first presentation. This is authorizing the expenditure of funds to sponsor event Operation Helping Hands. The city of Semmes in past years has actually contributed to this event, and it's a nonprofit organization, and what they do is they provide needed necessities to families and underprivileged children, clothes, food, shoes, entertainment to less fortunate families is what the resolution says. We left the amount blank. I was gonna just let the presenter talk to us a little bit about that and then let the council decide what they wanted to do as far as an amount. But I'm hoping she will be here. She got held up in traffic, so that's understandable with the vacation traffic we've got. But we'll go ahead and just do a round of discussion, Mr. Baker.
Yeah, what she's been. Have they indicated the amount?
I think last year we,
It was 2,000 last year
2,000?
from discretionary.
That's all I had.
Okay. Mr. Smith?
Well, we want to help everybody, but we really can't help everybody, and I just, concerned here about how this plays out. Did we get any follow-up reports from last year or anything? So we know exactly what happened?
I
Who was
know
helped?
Miss Joanne McKnight, she does an article and a blog, and
Okay.
she actually covered it there, and I think it was also covered in the Call News. It was a pretty big article.
All right,
So.
thank you very much. That's what I needed to know. Good, it's good hands. Thank you.
Do you know how much we have left?
I don't know off the top of my head. I don't. I'd have to get a report.
Okay.
I can run one real quick in between. Okay, Mr. Webb.
You can give to them.
Okay, and Mr. Shirey.
Okay, I don't have any discretionary funds left at all, but
Come out of the general
we
fund.
can take this out of general fund if we vote on it.
Okay. The next resolution is authorizing the mayor to execute the amendment to cooperation agreement for the Mobile County Consortium. This, and we went back and pulled let me find it, the original resolution, and there's only 3 of us on the council that was on the original council that actually agreed to this. And we actually passed the original resolution in 2011. It was passed July 21st. So just we were a little over a month old at that time, or 2 months old at that time. And what this is all about, I'm going to kind of explain it to everyone. And I've got a letter. It's Mobile County and all the member cities of Mobile County kind of get together, and Mobile County actually is the one that administers different HUD grants and CDBG funds, grant funds and things like that on behalf of the cities. They're the, kind of like the administrator. So the city of Semmes does not go directly to apply for these grants, okay? And we would actually go through with Mobile County. And I'm gonna kind of read some of the different grants that are available and that we would use with Mobile County. Accomplishments, this is in the past, have included the construction of senior centers, community centers, installation and improvement of water facilities, drainage and sewer projects, resurfacing of numerous streets and park improvement projects, prescription drug assistant programs, and those with physical challenges have received assistance with home modification. Part of being, an advantage of being part of the consortium is that your city automatically becomes a participant in the home program. This participation makes your constituents eligible to participate in a program whereby they may receive assistance in the form of a down payment or closing cost toward the purchase of a first home. The home program also provides funding for the construction of affordable homes, therefore increasing the inventory of much needed affordable homes in the county. And what this is, let's see, it also includes the CDBG grants, Home Investment Partnership Program, that's the home program, emergency shelter grants and other HUD funded programs. And we automatically renew at the end of 3 years. I think it is every 3 years it renews. But what has happened is the federal government has come back and they've asked for a couple of amendments, okay? And the amendments are, so everything else is the same with the agreement. Like I said, it renews automatically. But the amendments are this. The first amendment, there are two amendments, that one paragraph is amended to read, the parties do hereby mutually commit to conform to all laws and regulations set by the federal government respecting the use of any monies granted pursuant to the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended. Both parties agree to take all actions necessary to assure compliance with the county's certification required by Section 104B of Title I of the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended, including Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Fair Housing Act, and affirmatively furthering fair housing. The parties further agreed to take all actions necessary to comply with Section 109 of Title I of the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974, which incorporates Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973, the Americans with Disabilities Act, the Age Discrimination Act of 1975, and other applicable laws. These shall include, but are not limited to, laws and regulations concerning citizen participation, equal opportunity employment, audits, penalties, non-discrimination, and labor standards. Furthermore, the county shall provide no funding for activities in or in support of any cooperating unit of general local government that does not affirmatively further fair housing within its own jurisdiction or that impedes the county's action to comply with its fair housing certification. The second amendment is the city may not sell, trade, or otherwise transfer all or any portion of CDBG, home, ESG, or other HUD funds to another such metropolitan city, urban county, unit of general local government, or Indian tribe, or area that directly or indirectly receives CDBG funds in exchange for any other funds, credits, or non-federal considerations, but must use such funds for activities eligible under Title I of the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended. So basically it's just saying that we're not gonna take any monies that we receive and trade them out with another city or give them to another local government. So that's what this is all about. And I've got a copy for Jacob. I don't know if you got a copy of this or not, but for you to look over, if you would, in between the breaks. So
Mayor, would you mind emailing that to us so we can look and see what these things are that we'd be signing on to and approving.
No problem.
Thank you.
When was it the county needed it? Already? I
Last
think.
month.
Last month, yeah,
So,
so,
I'll email it.
so it's kind of an urgent type thing. Any other comments, Mr. Baker?
No comment?
Mr. Webb?
No comment.
Mr. Shirey?
I think if we're going to continue to be a part of the consortium, we don't have much choice. We need to.
Right. And I do know that there have been a couple of homes built in our city limits as well as in our general area that are part of this. So, people here in Semmes are benefiting from this, so. For Wolf Express. This is actually an application, I believe, for the transfer of a retail beer license and a wine license for Wolf Express at 9965 Wolf Road. Any comments on this? Mr. Baker?
I'm trying to place that. What does that sit next to?
It's at the corner of Wolf and Snow Road, and it would be the
Okay.
southwest corner.
Okay, across the street.
Mhm.
Okay. I said, yeah, there's a fireworks trailer, gas station, road, gas station. That's what we're talking about. Okay. Thank you.
I think that place has been closed for a while, and
Yeah.
it's reopening. Okay, Mr. Smith?
Does this satisfy all requirements, or are there any waivers that are in effect on this property?
No, it doesn't really matter about the property. It's, this is just the application for the license, for the
So
liquor
that's-
license.
That's the waiver I'm talking about. There are no waivers involved, it's all, they've satisfied all requirements?
Yes, they have to actually satisfy the requirements with state of Alabama, so, and then this is our portion that we have to agree to.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Webb?
No comment.
Okay. Mr. Schauer?
If they already had the ABC approval, I don't see any reason for us not to give them a permit or the license.
Okay. Okay, committee reports, special projects, and Ms. Renee is not here. Special events, Mr. Baker.
Well, special events, I think we were lucky with the weather on the 3rd of July. We had a good crowd, and I think everybody had a good time, even with we being a little bit humid, but everybody seemed to have a good time, and that's always well done by Orchard. And big events coming up, of course, we have in September, we have the Pops coming back I think it's the last Monday in September, and that's already budgeted for in the budget. And in October, we have the first City of Semmes sponsored Mobile Municipal League dinner that we've been kind of discussing off and on for a few weeks. It was originally scheduled for February, but that was a tough time for us with so much going on, so we switched with the Racing Commission, and they took February, and now we have October. And I told the clerk I'll get you a purchase request for that amount, and we're going to keep that, and I discussed it with the committee. No fancy expenditures here, nothing outrageous. We just a simple dinner, and nothing like $500 door prizes and all that. I believe the chamber had mentioned they might be able to help us with a few gifts, but we don't want to overboard the first time we ever have a dinner, because they'll expect more and more and more. And many of the dinners at the different cities, as far as the door prize is concerned, it's simply the place setting that's on the table. And there's a number under your chair, and when the business meeting is over, then everybody says, look under your chair, if you have a number, you get the place setting. So, and I think that's probably best, especially from talking to the committee. We don't want, this is our first time. The most important part is having a good meeting and having a good dinner, and that's very important. And I wanted to ask the council if how they felt about possibly trying to have this at the if the weather's permitting, it should be in October, have it at the Semmes Heritage Park area, outside. I'm open to suggestion. You say no? What do you say? No? We're not doing too well, no? Okay. I don't think that's working too well. Okay. Well, then we'll have to go inside.
Don't start over now.
Okay. We originally went with the fire training facility. The only challenge with that is we normally get 100 people at the meeting, and I don't think that will hold 100 people. So I just open it up for discussion, and perhaps at the next meeting, we'll try to narrow it down. I'll do some more research and try to give you some indoor options, now that I know the feeling of the council.
Will the community center hold that many?
Yes.
I'm not real fond of that facility. I mean, it could use some sprucing up, but
We're flexible.
but it's,
Yeah, it's whatever the council wants to do. Yeah, we'll go wherever. Yeah. We would like them to see, and the reason I mentioned the Heritage Park is if you go into the Heritage Park, you get to drive by some of the other beautiful parks that we have, like the Honor Park. And that's important. And we could even have a shuttle and take our visitors to Semmes around some of the other opportunities we have here.
Mr. Baker, I think that's a great idea, but we'll have to ask them what they think about it.
Sure.
Okay, sure, we'll ask them.
Okay. But that was it.
All right, historic preservation.
We took the night off last night, and we'll have our meeting next Monday night, 6 p.m. right here.
We'll have to put out a legal notice on that. Okay, now we are going to move Ms. Law. Can you give us your presentation now?
Yes.
Glad you made it.
Thank you, thank you. If I might.
okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
These are the pictures from last year, Operation Helping Hands, Helping Kids. And actually, we service 400 families. 400 families. Because I have a sign-in sheet, and they have to write their names and their children's names, and it was a big success. It was just so overwhelming to them. They didn't know. I was like, everything is free. And they were so excited. The children was overwhelmed. I mean, they had activities to do. They was like a kid in the candy store. They were so excited. And the parents, I didn't know. This will be the 3rd year that I'm having it out here. But I used to have it downtown at the Spanish Plaza Park. And I'm like, why should I keep on taking all the goodies to another community, and my community needs this? Because before I started having the event at the Semmes Community Center, I actually went and toured, because I'm not from around here. I grew up in Pritchard, and I was looking at some of the houses and how people are living, and so that would make me start having it here. And this community, last year was even bigger success, and this year is going to be even bigger success because I had a couple of big sponsors to come aboard. And this year, like last year, I gave away 11 brand new Lazy Boys chair. And one lady, she was like, because that was the door prize. When you come in, you get a ticket, and you never know what to expect. And when her number was called, and I told her, I said, "This is your chair," and she was like, "No." I said, "Yes, it is." And she was so excited to get the Lazy Boy chair because it's brand new. it's everything. Also, my organization is affiliated with, I have a diaper bank. I gave out diapers. I gave out wipes. I mean, it was just a blessing to some of the people, I mean, to just be there. It was a real nice event. And if you can look at the pictures, I mean, everything's free. I mean, the kids were signing in, walking around. See, that's one of the chairs right there. I mean, I feel the community set up.
Did. I can tell from the pictures.
I feel it up.
And these were all free.
Free. Because my motto is right here, I'm a firm believer, I'm a Christian, and my brother Jesus fed 5,000 with the loaves of fishes, and I'm gonna feed 10,000. I'm gonna, go above and beyond. It's just something that I want to do, because my mom always had us doing mission work. I had us out there helping, since I've been of age to talk, to really help out. My mom had us in the church, going to the senior citizen home, going to see the sick. We always had a part in helping. And so that's just my way of just giving back, because I had a grand-grand, and my grand-grand, they, people came to see her, they prayed with her, they fellowship with her, and I'm like, hey, and I took note of that. And so now I'm giving back. And again, everything is free. The clothes are brand new, the shoes are brand new, everything is new.
That's great. How many families did you say?
It was over 400.
Wow.
Because you have to sign in, and you get to sign your child name in too. And also, it's a liability form too, releasing liability off of me, the volunteers, the community center, giving permission to take pictures, and they had to sign in.
Mr. Webb, did you?
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Baker?
When is the day?
November 25th, Black Friday. Because another thing, a lot of people don't have money to go out shopping on Black Friday. So that's the reason why I have, actually this is my 9th year altogether doing this right here. So why not? Come fellowship with me.
What time?
It's gonna be from 11 to 2. But actually last year, it was a line. They was out there like at 10 o'clock. It was actually a line.
Mr. Smith?
It looks like you've pulled together a team of smiling helpers here. How many people helped you with this?
I had about 20.
Okay, great.
Okay, Mr. Shirey?
Did you, by any chance, serve hot dog food and things?
I had hot dogs, I had cotton candy, I had snow cones, I had popcorn. I also did you go fishing, well, it was candy bars. I made a display, and when you take the rod and you get a candy bar. So it was really nice.
I figured with hot dogs and drinks and stuff, you'd get the kids for sure.
Yes.
One other question, how much do you need from the city to help?
I'm not being over, but this year, whatever that you can allow me to have. Because this year I want it to be, each year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So this year I want them to say, wow. Because last year they was like, but I want them to be even. I do.
Have you made some good contacts in the supply end of things, so you can get things at real good low prices?
I have a,
further questions or comments from council? We'll consider it in the next meeting then, the one that'll follow this one. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ms. Paul.
Thank you, thank you.
Is there any further business or staff comments, council comments tonight?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Meeting's adjourned at 7:25.
Wow.
Right on time.
Motion.
There being a quorum of the council present, this meeting is hereby called to order at 7:45 PM. Okay, please make sure all your cell phones are turned off or in silent mode to avoid any unnecessary interruptions in the meeting. Public comments are only allowed during the public comment portion of the meeting. Please see your agenda. Each speaker is allowed 3 minutes to address the city council. You'll be notified at the end of 2 minutes that you have 1 minute remaining to summarize. Roll call.
Mayor Hill,
Here.
Councilmember Baker. Here. Councilmember Smith.
Here.
Councilmember Webb.
Here.
Councilmember Franson's absent. Councilmember Shirey.
Here.
Okay. Invocation and pledge. Mr. Sonny Robinson, would you lead us in prayer this afternoon?
I will.
Since you, and let's see, Mr. Baker, pledge, please.
Sure. You ready? Dear Lord, thank you for the opportunity for each and every one to be here tonight. Thank you again for this council and mayor and supporting staff around the city of Semmes. Great job that's been done. Just thanking God for the opportunity to have each one come here tonight and place their petitions and their needs and desires that we might come together and form a better united group here in Semmes, working together to the cause and the betterment for everyone. We just thank you for these all and any blessings that you have in store for us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson and Mr. Baker.
Sure.
Okay, minutes for review tonight. We have minutes from the June 7th regular session, the June 21st regular session, and the June 24th special session. If everyone would like to consider those at one time. Does anyone have any objections?
No objection.
Okay, I'll give you all a few minutes to,
There are 2 changes. The June 7th regular session, the adjournment should have been, the time we adjourned should have been 10:46, not 8:05. And the special session should have been 6:06 PM and not 7:49. That was my only 2.
okay? Okay, any council comments? Do I have a motion to approve as amended?
So moved.
Okay, I have a first, okay, and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. The minutes from the June 7th regular session, June 21st regular session, June 24th special session are now approved. Do we have any public comments tonight?
Yes, Tim Hale.
Good evening, Tim Hale, 9265 Roberts Lane East, Semmes. This will be pretty brief. I just jotted down a couple of quick notes, but just a caption this is you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So there's been lots of discussions by the council recently about things like the splash pad and extra things that we're doing to make sure that could accommodate the additional expected overcrowding. I haven't been personally, but I hear it's been a splash. So you didn't need the second chance to make the first impression. The same thing happens with all kinds of other city events and the movie nights and everything else that the city sponsors and everything that takes place. is it's all the preparation up front that makes sure that it's successful. When I think about the comments earlier about the municipal dinner, you know, you want to make sure that you have a decent facility to make it come off, make sure it comes off well. I think it's, that definitely is a good idea to have it inside because Mother Nature's so unpredictable. Again, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And we all know that you never really know who's going to be at those dinners. You never know what's on their mind and what may be going on in other areas or what conversations may be taking place. There's discussions and thoughts about possible businesses, new housing. All of this stuff means jobs, income for the citizens, and revenue for the city. So when I think about, I heard Councilman Baker say maybe 100 people. If you take whatever you're planning on budgeting, and if you just put another $10 per person, it's $1,000. How long is it going to take the city to get $1,000 worth of tax revenue back?
One
You
thing.
never get a second chance to make a first impression. Thank you.
First good impression. First good impression.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's all. Okay. Ordinances for consideration tonight. The annexation of certain lands known as Hillman, Pat H. Jr. and Sandra T. 8050 Oak Hill Drive, Extension North. Discussion from council, Mr. Baker.
Well, I think we discussed it earlier. I have nothing more to add from what I said earlier.
Okay, Mr. Smith.
We need to do this.
Mr. Webb?
No comment.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
I got comments, y'all are jumping. I have concerns because the ordinance, I'm sorry, not the ordinance, the petition was signed 2 years after we incorporated, and he understood, or he said he thought he signed an incorporation petition for, you know, when the city incorporated. And I guess until I talk to Mr. Hillman, and I better understand what his reasoning is for not wanting to be in the city when at one time he did want to be in the city. I've got questions that, you know, that I have. Has the city done something wrong? Has the city done something against him? Is he upset with the city? Or, you know, what does, you know, just what is the reasoning for it? And I think I'd like to have a little bit of time to better understand what's going on. And because I did not get to speak to Mr. Hillman when he came. So that's my,
I agree.
That changed my motion to
discussion.
hold over for 2 weeks.
Yeah, so I would like to do that.
I agree.
Well, first of all, we have to vote for immediate consideration since this is the first time, so. So do I have a motion for immediate consideration and to waive the reading?
So moved.
Okay, do I have a second? Okay, second, you're fine. Okay, roll call vote.
Councilmember Baker?
No.
Okay, so the motion for immediate consideration to waive the reading fails. Okay, so we'll consider this next time, so.
Yeah.
Okay, resolutions on the agenda tonight. The first one, authorizing the expenditure of funds to sponsor event Operation Helping Hands. We reviewed and discussed this in the council work session earlier. Do I have a motion for immediate consideration to waive the reading?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Webb?
Yes.
Councilmember Shari?
Yes.
Mayor Hill?
Yes. Okay, the motion for immediate consideration and to waive the reading of the resolution carries. Someone asked, Mr. Baker asked about discretionary funds. Mr. Baker, you have $1,062.50.
1,060.
Place 2, Mr. Smith is 0. Place 3, Mr. Webb is 0. Place 4, Ms. Franson is not here. And then place 5 is 0. And I've got a little bit, but I've got some plans for it already.
Well,
So-
I'll put mine on.
But, I mean, we could do, well, I'm gonna throw some, well, I don't know if there's anything left. I went ahead and printed it out. I looked at our admin grants and donations account just to see what we've given away as grants and donations this year. To the schools, we've given away $29,000. So far, we had 40 budgeted. So we're 11,000 under on that. The senior center, we had budgeted 12,480, and we have given 31,000. And I think the difference between what we budgeted and what we gave to the senior center actually came from discretionary funds. The Boys and Girls Club, we had 10,000 budgeted, and we gave them 10. And Heritage Park, we had 10,000 budgeted, and we gave Heritage Park 10,000. So, since this difference in the senior center actually came from your discretionary funds, we are still under 11,000 on the schools on that. Now, if you so choose, that can be allocated, some of that money can be allocated to this. So we are 11,000 under, so I wanted to throw that out since there wasn't a lot in the discretionary.
Near the end.
So,
And the school year starts back and all this stuff.
Mhm.
And our
Then-
money runs through
September.
September. So the schools may come back wanting more kickoff money. So I think we didn't have a rather see it come out of the general fund if we have it. That's my personal opinion.
okay, Mr. Baker?
What's the total amount we were discussing?
We've
Brilliant.
given 2,000 last year. Mr. Smith?
We're looking for a recommended amount to put on this? are we?
And a source of funding and amount.
Go ahead.
I'd say 3 and use 1,000 for my account.
Okay.
That's just my suggestion.
Mr. Webb?
I don't have anything else. I'm broke already.
You broke already? Jerry?
Again, I would say let's take his, Mr. Baker's 1,000 and then take 2,000 out of general fund if we want to bump it up to 3,000.
I'll second that.
Aye.
If you're gonna
Do you
do
need a motion? Was that a motion?
Need-
That was a motion, I second it.
Okay, so I have a motion to, for an amount not to exceed $3,000, of which $1,000 would come from Mr. Baker, from Councilmember Baker's discretionary funds, and $2,000 would come from general
General
fund.
fund.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Roll call vote.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Webb?
Yes.
Councilmember Shirey?
Yes.
Mayor Hill?
Yes. Okay, the motion to adopt the resolution carries. Okay. The next resolution is authorizing the mayor to execute the amendment to cooperation agreement for the Mobile County Consortium. We reviewed and discussed this in the work session earlier. Do I have a motion for immediate consideration and to waive the
So
reading?
moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Webb?
Yes.
Councilmember Shirey?
Yes.
Mayor Hill?
Yes. Okay, the motion for immediate consideration and to waive the reading of this resolution carries. Discussion from council, Mr. Baker.
Oh, I concur.
Okay, Mr. Smith.
I'm very, very concerned about this. I believe the people of our city, before this, if they read all the federal involvement and federal rules about how our area is going to be populated, so I'm going to be voting against it.
Okay, Mr. Webb.
No comment.
Okay.
Motion to adopt.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call vote.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
No.
Councilmember Webb?
No.
Councilmember Shirey?
Yes.
Mayor Hill?
Yes. And the motion to adopt the resolution carries. Okay, the last resolution is ABC application for Wolf Express. We reviewed and discussed this in the council work session earlier. Do I have a motion for immediate consideration to waive the reading?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call vote.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Webb?
Yes.
Councilmember Shirey?
Yes.
Mayor Hill?
Yes. Motion for immediate consideration and to waive the reading of the resolution carries. Any further discussion from council on this one?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Webb?
Yes.
Councilmember Shirey?
Yes.
Mayor Hill?
Yes. And the motion to adopt the resolution carries. We do need to discuss the presentation that we had tonight for the girls in the softball, and maybe bring that forward as a resolution for next council meeting. So we kind of go ahead and do that, and we'll get this documented and get this in the minutes. Mr. Baker.
Council, is there any restriction on that?
No.
No problem doing it?
Okay, Mr. Smith?
There's a certain problem in getting tickets in time to get the right prices and the right seats and the right planes. So anything we could do to expedite this, I'm all for it, and I think we would be well served to, our city would be, to support this. So if there's any way we can suspend the rules for immediate consideration on this, I would make that motion.
Second?
Okay, we're still doing discussion. Mr. Webb, you have
Okay.
any comments? I'm sorry.
I'm in support of it.
Okay.
Is there, may I ask, is there time to vote on this at the next meeting and still get bookings?
The only issue that we're facing is whenever the check's written, it has to go to our home office, and then they have to mail it back. That's the only issue that we're facing, because we leave on the 30th of this month, July.
All right.
Mr. Shirey, comments?
Okay. First off, let me say that these folks, these young ladies came to our Parks and Rec meeting, and she didn't mention that some of the advertising we're going to get will be a Semmes banner at the event.
Right.
And I think we had talked about shirts for the young ladies to wear with Semmes on that, on city Semmes. So we're getting advertising out of it. And what they're asking for the advertising, we're going to get national advertising.
Good point.
I think it's well worth what they're asking us to contribute. And I am in favor, since there is a time issue, having a special meeting. I know I'm going to get famous for calling special meetings, I guess. I think it's good for these young ladies, because they've worked really hard to get where they're going.
I don't think you can do it right now.
What?
Actually, it's got to be presented in writing before.
We can suspend the rules on that for that.
I'm not trying to step on toes, but I'm gonna ask questions. We've had lots of people come to us, ask for money, ask for money, ask for money. My
Yeah.
kid needs to go here, my kid needs this, my club needs this, and, you know, I want to publicly, I think what you're doing is awesome. It's amazing, and I thumbs up to you as a parent. But I think we're setting a precedent here for people to continue to come to the council asking for money for things that are not city related. I mean, it's not a city business expense. It's not like paving roads, putting in parks. It's not, and I think we need to be careful as a council, because going forward, how many, and please do
No,
not
I-
take this wrong, but if we give to your children, do we not have to give to everyone else's too that wants to go? And we've got to be careful with that, because to me, we're gonna get to the point where we're not gonna be fair with somebody because we can't give money to everybody. So, I think we need to be very careful with that. We've done it a lot in the past, but, word continues to get out, the city's giving out free money, we're gonna have a problem. You know, we're not gonna be able to, and we're not gonna be fair. And, you know, at what point do we say, we're gonna do it this time, or what's the criteria? We have no established criteria. And I think somehow the council needs to agree on some sort of criteria to either give grants, to give, to do funding for advertising or whatever, so that we do not get stuck in a place where we're eventually gonna have somebody come to us and we're gonna have to tell them no, but we have no criteria. When we told this one yes, but were you gonna pick me to tell me no, but you told so-and-so yes? And I think that we need to be careful of that. And I don't know what we've got to do, but we need to do something to set up some sort of guidelines for the city to follow moving forward. We've got a good chance coming up. We've got a brand new fiscal year, and I think it's a good opportunity for us to work on that between now and then, and say, starting October 1st, this is the way we're going to handle things. So, you know, and then a lot of times, you know, when we give grants for the full amount, everything they ask for, you know. What part are they earning? You know, we need to, and I'm gonna ask you that question, how much?
That's
y'all
fine.
raised?
We have, this is not our first stop. I just want you to know that. We have.
I already know all that. That's what I heard the other night.
We have been turned down from business after business, not just in Semmes, but because it is June and July. Everybody, you know, they pretty much go at the beginning of the year. We didn't know at the beginning of the year that we were going to get this opportunity. Our girls wanted to do the bagging for tips, and when Dixie, of course, turned us down, and there's no other place to where we could go around here. Walmart, you can't, they don't want to stand out with buckets and say, hey, will you donate? They're too old for that. They can earn their money. She actually went, it is, absolutely. She actually went the other day and she was going to work in somebody's yard, but decided to organize a bedroom to earn $50. I mean, we're setting our girls in the right direction, but, you know, without business support, and, I mean, we are forking out what we can. But again, this is something that has just said, oh, you know, this is an opportunity we can't really pass up. This is not something that we literally put in our budget. We've never been on a trip like this before, so.
Just a comment. As real advertising and promotion for the city, it won't be just that banner, it'll even on the air mentions these folks came from Semmes, Alabama. It will be worth much more than we're talking about. Like, kind of promotion and advertising for a city that money can't buy, actually. So to have these representing our cities on a national stage.
It'll also be on the website, the city of
It's on the
Semmes.
girls, it's on the girls' website. They have this is everything that it will cover. The thank you card / team photos signed by the team, Facebook link on our page, or a link on our Facebook page, company logo on team banner and our website, photo and plaque to display at your place of business, softball signed by the team to display at your place of business, an individual company logo banner that will be on our dugout. And it will be on a plane flying.
Well, I'd still, you know, I still do believe that we need to do that.
I completely understand.
It's just a good time for me to bring it up to the council,
Yeah.
because we've got a new fiscal year coming up, and we really need to think about that. And, you know, we kind of went into the first of the fiscal year with many council members completely depleted their discretionary funds, and that's kind of one of the things, you know, that you would maybe do with that. So, but you know, we need to. I think we need to set some sort of guidelines that when different groups come to us, we're not 100% their sole support, because that's not what we exist for. It's not a city. The city's not in the business of doing that, or that's not what it says in my book. So, and that's what I go by. But
And that's why to echo that, that's why in the budget, we devoted certain funds for schools and certain funds for other activities and line items on the budget for this, for certain things.
mm-hmm. Now, I know on the, like this year, on grants, we had actually allocated grants and donations, 72,480. But we've spent 80,000. We've gone over because, you know, that money came out of discretionary funds. But and I know one of the things that Susan Copeland told me in the beginning. She said, "Well, no," she said, "you can do things in a way, say for advertising, if it's a legitimate advertising expense, you can do it in that kind of a way, so that it's legal to be able to give money to different groups." But she said, "But you need to be careful, or you're going to have everybody there asking for money." And so I just wanted to kind of bring that up. But any ideas on the amount? Because
$4,500, wasn't it?
I think it's
Yes, sir.
45.
Yes.
Okay. And we also need to talk about the source of the funding as well. Mr. Baker.
I'd like to hear what everybody else says first.
Mr. Smith?
It'll be in the general fund, under promotions, advertising.
And how much?
$4,500.
Okay, Mr. Webb?
I second that. I agree with it, yes.
Since I have zero discretionary, I can state that if we have sufficient funds in the general fund, then I think that's where it should come from.
Okay.
If I had the discretionary, I'd give it, but I don't.
Okay, Mr. Baker?
That's 4,500 for how many people? All people? And that's everything included?
Except what they've already raised.
How much have you raised, if you don't mind?
We've raised about $600. Actually, $637 to the penny. We had a plant sale Saturday in front of Snow Road Baptist Church and raised money. And we did nukes. We worked the front door and raised the money there.
Our girls were featured on Studio 10 for that also, so that didn't turn out very well with the Nukes fundraiser. We when I tell you, we've tried everything. We have a car wash coming up, and if we involve the whole team and split that, they're not going to get anything, because you make maybe $300 off of a car wash divided by 11 people. It's not even worth doing.
Well, the problem, like you say, is if we, where do we draw the line? And where do we say no, or where do we say, I mean, this is what we'll pay? And I think perhaps since it is just the 5th, we have a little time, I would say perhaps we should consider this for a little bit more before we just fund the whole thing. Even though I know we're running up against time, but it's the first time we heard about it, the 5th. Just my opinion on it.
For parks and recreation.
Or give it a week and have a meeting.
I agree with you that we need to set some kind of criteria, but since we haven't to date, this is pretty urgent because it has to go to the group's own office. The check has to go there, and then they send money back to this team, to them, to use. So July 30th is going to come pretty quick. Today's the 5th already. So I think between now and the beginning of next fiscal year, we did need to work on criteria. So I'm in favor of going ahead with this now. But we still have to wait, have to do a special meeting because we still have to have a request for.
Right. We had to have a special
PRF.
meeting anyway for it, so,
Yeah,
but to
so
bring it up
we can
again.
do that in a
So,
week.
yeah.
Would you-
So everybody can kind of think about it a little bit.
I think it'd be a good idea.
Now, next Tuesday night, we have planning commission work session, but is there another time that we could meet?
Monday?
Right.
Y'all have anything on Monday?
Monday,
We can suspend our meeting.
Well, no,
Yeah.
we have to suspend it because it won't take us 30 minutes.
Monday's fine.
you meet at 6,
Right.
so we could
So-
just do 7.
That's fine.
Everybody's okay?
That's fine.
Okay. All right, well, let's do that. We'll have our special meeting Monday night at 7. So we'll need to send a legal notice, post a legal notice for that. And then we'll consider it then and everything, okay? Because it has to be brought up anyway on the agenda and stuff, so, okay. Great. All right. Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Meeting's adjourned at 8:17.
Wow. I think I'm gonna sit here for another hour just.